The first question I have is, as far as costs go, is there anything that I would need to probably pay out of pocket that my scholarship wouldn't cover?
Well, your scholarship's a 3-year scholarship, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so the first year financially is on you.
Okay.
All right, so my recommendation to you would be go back to the financial aid office and make sure they understand that you are a 3-year scholarship winner, because your award letter for financial aid is probably a set amount of money for a 4-year period of time. And Becca, or Amy, if I'm talking out of turn here, stop me. Okay, so I don't know if you have your aid package yet from Hood College, but it's probably, let's say for sake of argument, we're going to give you $20,000 a year, right? All right, well, they don't have to give you that for your remaining 3 years, because the Army is going to cover full tuition and fees. So you don't have the same need. Hood will cover room and board from that aid package that they were going to give you. They're going to give you a room and board grant, but you have to work it out with financial aid what that first year is going to look like.
Okay.
All right. Now you hold a lot of bargaining chips in your hand now, because there's not a lot of people that bring full tuition and fees to Hood College. But if everything goes as you hope it will, and we think it will, you're going to bring full tuition, whatever that is right now, to Hood College, 41, 42, and I'm sure the rates are going to go up a little bit. So they don't have to give you financial aid. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, sir.
All right. So it doesn't hurt to ask to incentivize the first year a little bit, maybe. And I don't know how they will react, but they have to know that you, as a 3AD winner, are a hot commodity.
So sorry.
So Noah, I will be in contact with the admissions office, or not admissions, with the finance office. Miss Shanti, her name's, I can't remember her name right now, but I will give her a list of all the winners that Mr. Familetti gives me, and that way they have your name at the finance office. So when you call, they will be able to help you with that first year and give you your options for that.
Okay.
And just generally for any students who are accepted, so when you're looking at your acceptance packet, financial aid is in there. And so when we look at your application for admission, we'll automatically review you for merit scholarships. So when you find out that you're accepted, you'll find out what scholarship you've been awarded. If you have completed or plan to complete the FAFSA and you've submitted that to Hood, what we will also do then is evaluate you for institutional aid. So your merit scholarships are based solely on your application. If you've submitted the FAFSA, we're also able to award some need-based institutional grants and monies, which, like scholarships, are nice because that's free money that doesn't need to be paid back at the end. And you may, through the FAFSA, also qualify for some federal or state aid, depending on if you're in the state of Maryland, if you may qualify for any federal loans or grants. So that's definitely something, if you have questions about your scholarship package, or because with the climate right now, I know a lot of things are changing for a lot of people. Anything even that changes, like if there's a change in job, if you move, anything that might impact your ability to pay for college, be in touch with your admission counselor, be in touch with the Office of Financial Aid, because we will work with you. We know a big part of finding a college that's going to be a good fit for you is making sure it's a good financial fit. So definitely be in touch with us with any of those questions. And I know your situation's a little different, but as you're looking at that first year and things, definitely feel free to reach out. And I do see we have had another student join us. Hello, Ralphina. Welcome to our ROTC session. Just to kind of make some introductions, I'm Becca. I'm one of the admission counselors with Hood. Well, we're a pretty small group, so I'll let everyone kind of introduce themselves here.
I'm Amy. I'm also one of the admission counselors. I work primarily with transfer students and incoming veteran students as well.
I'm Rob Familetti. I'm the Scholarship and Enrollment Officer for the Green Terror Battalion, which has cadets at Hood, Mount St. Mary's, and McDaniel College.
And I'm Captain Harrant. We spoke over the phone. Just so you're tracking, Mr. Familetti is the guy that will answer all of your scholarship questions that you were asking me about.
Okay. Well, I'm Ralphina Smith.
Hi.
Hello. So I got accepted into Hood, but right now I'm having issues with my financial aid because I filed in as an independent student, being that my dad is no longer in my life. So I had to write some type of letter, but I didn't know that Hood has a ROTC program. I think the applications are already like done and for, but I was just wondering more about the program as to how I can apply to it or for it.
Okay. So you are correct when you state that the national high school application window has closed for your year group, which is, the graduating class of 2024. So that ship has sailed, but that's not to say you couldn't join ROTC and perhaps scholarship later on. Okay. So there's no reapplication for ROTC scholarships. It's basically campus-based scholarship, which is based on your performance at a college, and hopefully it's Hood College. So what would happen there is you would come to Hood, and your entry into ROTC is signing up for the class. Travis, is it Military Science 101? Is that the nomenclature?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you sign up for Biology 101 or English 101. You sign up for Military Science 101, and you are an enrolled cadet. And if Ralphina does really well in our program, academically, physically, participation, gets medically qualified, and meets all the administrative requirements, there is no reason why you couldn't get a scholarship somewhere down the road. But it is a meritocracy. Most things in the Army, and I would argue in life, are. But I can only tell you, like, there's a young lady at Hood College right now who's home doing the same thing we're doing, telecommuting. Emily Velasquez just won a 2-year scholarship. So her junior and senior year will be paid for at Hood outright. Room and board will be covered by Hood. She's going to get $2,400 for books over those 2 years and about $8,400 in cadet stipend over those 2 years, and be commissioned a second lieutenant. So that is basically how it works. I wish I could tell you I had scholarship dollars available to me right now, but it doesn't work that way. We run an order of merit list with a whole bunch of different inputs, and we forward that to hire. Our brigade headquarters is at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and depending on how much money they have, that'll be how many scholarships are awarded to people on campus. Did that kind of explain some things to you?
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I actually was planning on joining the Army National Guard, but I can't do that right now because I live in Philadelphia and I can't be traveling back and forth every month.
Yeah.
And I can't join right now because of the whole Corona thing, but I understand what you're saying. And so my question is, I can apply, like I can join JROTC, but I won't have the scholarship. Like I would just be in the program,
Right.
and shadow it to see how it is.
Right.
And if I perform well in the program, I'm hopefully able to get a scholarship.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now you mentioned joining the National Guard. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So we'll talk about that just a little bit. All right. Because we have cadets that are in the National Guard.
Mm-hmm.
There's different types of scholarship for that. They're not necessarily easier. They're just, it's coloring the money. So we know where you're going to serve your commitment to the Army. Okay. So I'm processing 2 scholarships right now for 2 cadets at McDaniel College that are tied to the National Guard. So they're going to drill with a unit in Westminster, Maryland, once I get them all squared away. but their scholarship will be the same as Emily Velasquez's. They just know when they graduate as seniors, they will go into the National Guard. It's called a Guaranteed Reserve Forces Duty Scholarship, okay? Now, there's other cadets that are called simultaneous members, okay? So they drill with a Guard unit, and they're also cadets, so they get their, if they're contracted, they'll get their stipend, $420 a month, and they'll also get their drill pay, okay? Most of our cadets are on a scholarship. We don't have too many non-scholarship contracts just because Hood is high dollar, okay? And we understand that, okay? But I don't know how far along you are in your process and everything like that, but you know, there's a very generous, you know, financial aid package that will come based on your FAFSA and your grades, your need, okay? That's why you fill out all of that, you know, and I have college age daughters, and you know, every year October 1st rolls around and I got to fill out the FAFSA again, and you're like, ugh, but you know, for the college to give you some money, you have to do it. Okay, because the colleges want the federal dollars first before they go into their endowment coffers. All right, so you absolutely can come test out the program. You'll start to get more fit. Now, since I've been doing this, we've awarded everything from a 3.5-year scholarship to 1.5-year scholarships at Hood. And here's how a young lady got a 3.5-year scholarship. She got a 4.0 her first semester at Hood. She nearly maxed her Army physical fitness test. Her name is Capt Blackwell. Okay, so very quickly she established herself at the top of our Order of Merit list and won a 3.5-year scholarship. Now, these 3 that I'm doing right now are only 2-year scholarships. But when I say only a 2-year scholarship, that's $107,000, $108,000 when it's all said and done. At the end of the day, they're still going to be lieutenants in the Army, which is a very respectable, whether it's in National Guard, Army Reserve, or on active duty. Okay, but you've obviously done some research, so that's good.
Yeah,
where are you in Philly?
I'm in the Northeast area. I basically live in the city.
Up off of Roosevelt Boulevard?
Yes, basically. I just actually moved here to Philadelphia. I'm a traveler, so I just moved there and settled here.
Well,
I'm from Minnesota.
I grew up outside of Philly.
That's good.
So, cool.
And I'll just chime in. So with the ROTC program, there is the opportunity with scholarships there. As you're also navigating the college process, I think I was talking about this a little bit as you were coming into the room. I'll reach out separately after this, but the admission office and the financial aid office, we can work around individual packages and talk with you about some of the options with that. So I'll reach out afterwards and we can chat some more about that.
Okay, thank you.
So Noah, did I answer your question earlier about, you know, that you understand, just to reiterate, the first year financially is on you?
Yes, sir. You did.
Okay. And then if you meet those 2.5 GPA, pass PT test, medically qualified, and Captain Harrant gives you the thumbs up, we'll validate your scholarship on 1 July, and then you're going to get, you know, pretty much everything covered and some. Okay?
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to make sure I answered that.
Okay, so I have a question. So as I'm in the program, not really in the program, I can train with you guys, right? Because when it comes to physical, I'm not physically there yet, but I can be. But I'm just like, am I going to be able to train with you in like practice if it comes to me taking the Army PT test?
If you come into the program and start to take Military Science 101 and say you want to be all in, you want to do everything, you will not be able to tell the difference between you and a cadet that's on a scholarship. We'll expect you to get yourself high on that Order of Merit list. We will expect everything from you that we're expecting from a scholarship cadet, because we want to get to know you. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 0600, we will get you fitter. Okay. Now you have time on your hands right now. All right. So the best thing you could do for yourself is get fit over the next couple months. Okay, and I'm here to tell you, August will rapidly approach, and I'm not going to hazard a guess to whether we'll be back in school in August or anything like that. It's 4 months away. Okay, you have 4 months to get out there and pound Philly like Rocky Balboa, man. Find the art museum steps and run up them. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Push-ups, sit-ups, and a 2-mile run is still this test standard.
2-mile run.
A young lady your age needs to do 19 push-ups in 2 minutes.
Oh, that's easy.
53 sit-ups in 2 minutes, and run a 2-mile run in 18 minutes and 54 seconds, I think, is the standard for females.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, that's minimum standard. That's 60 points in each event. And what you want to be up to is 100 points in each event, because that will get you more points on that order of merit list. So that's
Ralphina.
Yes, yes.
So you're freaking out about the fitness. I totally get it. Because I was in the military, and I wasn't an officer, but I was enlisted, and I was right where you were, like freaking out about this 6 a.m. like workout, like trying to get where you need to be. It'll be fine. Just do what you can, just a little bit each day, and you'll get better each day. So what I did was I just ran around my block, just like a couple laps, because I mapped out 2 miles or 1.5 miles, whatever the Navy had me do. And I just did my best each time. Each time. I was a night person, so I did mine at night. But you will get better. You will get faster, and you'll just see results. So just take it a day at a time. It'll be fine. And then by the time you get here, it'll be a breeze. No worries.
I'm just worried about the 2-mile run, because that's the only thing I probably lack at, but I'm gonna practice.
Mm-hmm. You can do it. I believe in you.
So, Ralphina,
Yes.
we have a Instagram page. It's Hood College ROTC. We have our cadets that are posting workout regimens on that page. So if you look at that page and follow it, you'll see what our cadets are doing over the summer.
So what's the page? I'm sorry.
It should be Hood College ROTC. I will on Instagram. Yeah, Hood College ROTC. And if you follow that, they post workouts on that page.
Okay.
I also have a senior cadet, Madrano, that holds a weekly info session. It's part of his internship that he's doing now that we're on this doing online stuff. He holds a weekly info session about workouts. So I can give him your number, and then he can add you into the Zoom meetings that they have once a week and the workouts that he posts. Because he actually has to do this on a weekly basis because I'm grading him for it. So he doesn't get to get away from it.
Okay.
So that's 2 workout regiments that you can follow to make sure that you are in shape, and then you're also doing the workouts that the current cadets are doing.
Okay. I got this. Thank you. That's probably all I needed to know about. So with the whole like sitting in classroom thing, I'm not going to be wearing the uniform. I'm just going to be shadowing, right?
So it depends.
Go ahead, Cameron.
So once you pass a PT test, we will give you a PT uniform. But every cadet that's enrolled in the class that is pursuing the ROTC program will get a uniform.
Okay. Okay.
I think maybe a clarifying question. Is there a separate application or anything that needs to be completed to be like accepted into the ROTC program? I think is that your kind of what you're asking,
Yeah,
Ralphina?
basically. Yeah.
So kind of the process in that first year to be in ROTC.
Sign up for the class.
Okay.
Okay, so if you sign up for the class and tell us that you don't want to get a uniform, there are some cadets, and I don't understand, they just take the class, and it's 1 hour a week as a freshman, classroom. And it's like, why not try the whole enchilada and see if it's for you or not? Being the PT, the getting the uniforms, the going to the woods and learning about leadership. And that's really, that will benefit you more whether it works out or you stay with it than just taking a class. Because there's really, you can't really learn about leadership in 1 hour of classroom. It's just so like I said before, you'll be a cadet just like everybody else. Okay. And believe me, there are cadets that have a uniform and it says U.S. Army and it's your last name on it. And it starts to build pride in the organization, to which, in a quick 4 years, you might be leading a formation in that organization. Okay?
That's what I like to see.
Yeah. So once you get to campus, okay, there's going to be people that come to campus that I know have a scholarship in hand. Okay. There's Noah has one on this with us right now. Noah has a 3-year scholarship in hand. So we're tracking him pretty closely. Okay. But we're going to track you pretty closely now too. If you say that you're committed to Hood and then deposited at Hood and it all works out, we're going to welcome you both the same way. Okay. He just happens to have something in his hand and you're working to get something in your hand in the future. Okay. But you'll both be MS1 freshman cadets. You will have a sophomore team leader, a junior squad leader, and your officers will be seniors, and your cadre will be Master Sergeant Bolwell and Captain Harrant. And Miss April Shamblin is a human resource specialist down there that works for the Army, and she'll make sure she gets all your paperwork and stuff like that. Same paperwork that Noah has to turn in. Okay?
Yeah, so process-wise, those applications and things we were talking about are related to an ROTC scholarship. If you know you want to do ROTC, you'll keep in touch with Captain Harrant and Mr. Familetti. And when you've said, yes, Hood is definitely where I want to go, paid your deposit, and you're registering for classes, that's when you'll be registering for any of those military science courses you'd have to take in your first year.
Yeah, I can't really turn in my deposit because I think Susan hasn't really gotten back to me yet because I have to turn in all the letters for my FAFSA, so I can't really do anything till I turn in everything else.
Mm-hmm. Good. So it sounds like you've been in touch with the Office of Financial Aid. I'll connect with you. I'll send an email. I'll CC your admission counselor. So we're just helping get you everything you need.
Yes, ma'am. That's about all my questions I have to ask. Thank you, guys.
Of course.
I'm Ralphina again. Nice to meet everybody.
What's your last name, Ralphina?
Smith.
Smith?
Yes.
Do you have Captain Harrant's email address?
Yes, I do.
Could you email him and then he'll email me or
Okay.
Travis if you have it?
I have Travis, but not the other one.
Okay. If Travis, if you just CC
I'll
me.
your contact.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Sure.
Thank you. And you can expect. Okay, I remuted myself.
Did she hang up?
Oh, she left.
Okay. All right, Noah, you got all 5 of us again.
So I do. So I have a few more questions. So as far as I know ROTC is a lot different than JROTC, but as far as ranking up goes, in terms of going from like a cadet private to maybe like a cadet sergeant, what's the process for that? Or is it just every year I would go up a rank?
Basically, that's what it is. So starting off, you're going to be cadet private, starting your freshman year. We just switched over to where each campus is a company-based leadership style. So starting your MS2 year, we're going to start putting you in a leadership position. That could be anywhere from being a squad leader up to like an assistant staff position. Once you're a junior, that's when we're going to put you in a little more challenging as a PL, platoon sergeant, company XO, or like a PAO type of position. And then once you become a senior, that's when you're going to be put into the senior positions of being a battalion staff officer or a company commander.
Okay. I should have written my questions down.
That's okay. So I've been doing this a long time in ROTC, and here's what junior ROTC kids have a leg up because they know kind of what a uniform looks like and everything. But if there's one thing that a lot of junior ROTCs that I've seen come into the program, they're all about the bling and the ribbons and the cords and they look like Idi Amin, and they want to have all the stuff because that's what happens in junior ROTC. I mean, these kids look like General Patton when they come to junior ROTC things. I get it. They've got a ribbon for everything, okay? Your primary mission in college is to study, to earn your degree in the time that you are prescribed to earn your degree, to do well, to set yourself up for, like we talked about last week, the branch of your choice, not the Army's choice, okay? That other stuff will come. If you are a high performer with a positive attitude, you will get to go to airborne school and air assault school and overseas and study abroad. If you are a duffel bag dragger, middling cadet, you may not have those opportunities. That's just the way it is, okay? So I'm not saying that junior ROTC isn't a great program. My father taught junior ROTC after he retired from the Army for about 10 years in New Jersey. But it was all about the ascots and the drilling ceremonies and the whoo. So we'll square you away.
Okay. So next question. As far as wearing uniforms go, so what are like the rules for wearing uniforms on campus?
So,
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you can go ahead, Captain.
So you're required to wear a uniform the day of your class. So being a freshman, you will wear your uniform on Wednesdays. The reason why we do this is because, one, it shows the presence of the ROTC program on campus. And then, if other people are interested in coming to our PT sessions or want to join the class, then we can do that. But it's the day of your class that you would wear your uniform all day. And then on Thursdays, you have to wear your uniform for our labs. So sometimes the cadets will just go straight to their classes wearing their uniform because they don't have enough time to change. So.
Okay, thank you.
Something to keep in mind, Noah, about the uniform is that it's going to draw a lot of attention to you. So when you wear it, you have to be not only representing Hood, but also the Army, so to speak, because it has the U.S. Army on it. So if you're acting a fool, that's not really going to go well, okay? Because you not only have students watching you, you have professors, you have other ROTC cadets watching you, and you also have people who have served, who are not going to be afraid to correct you if something is wrong. So just keep that in mind. I'm not doing that to intimidate you, but just to be aware that when you wear it, take it seriously. Okay.
Very well said. So the best recruiters are cadet recruiters, right? Mr. Familetti can't be on 3 campuses at 3 times. Neither can Captain Harrant. But it's really cool when somebody sees you looking sharp and motivated and, goal-oriented. They may say, "Hey, what's this program all about?" Because when 15 or 20 people wear their uniforms on Hood College, that is going, like Amy said, that is going to be seen. Big fish, small pond. And she is exactly right. We have had people on social media do some unbelievable things while in uniform. And, just that's a story for another day. You're on the hot seat.
So from my fellowship, it says I get a monthly monthly stipend. So how would I receive that, or any type of money that they would give me?
When you sign your contract in August of your sophomore year, so August of 2021, if all of the administrative things are met, we will ask you to get a standard form 1199 from your bank. And it will have a routing number and an account number on it. The book money, $600 a semester and $420 a month, will go directly to your checking or savings account. If you don't have a checking or savings account, you need to get one. Okay, it's all electronic, and it will magically appear. $210 twice a month for 10 months, and the books will usually hit 600. Will hit usually around September 15th, and then again in January. Your scholarship money will go directly to Hood through the financial aid office or the bursar's office through an electronic process that you will be obviously the initiator of. With the courses that you're taking, you're going to do something in a system called Go Army Ed. You're going to request a cadet payment request for, $21,000 or whatever it is, and that will electronically go to Hood College. But again, nothing coming in the first year. No 420, no 600. August of 2021 is when, that's when it all starts hitting for you.
Okay.
Right.
Yes, sir. Next question. As far as what time would my ROTC class be? Are they scheduled at different times, or is it just a certain hour of the day?
So at Hood College, your MS1 class is every Wednesday, 1300 to 1 o'clock to 2:15.
Okay.
And most advisors, I don't know who your advisor is, but most advisors know to work around that you have to take that class. So most advisors will work with you when you go to register for your classes. If it is a hiccup and you have to take one of your major classes for your concentration or whatever, just let me know, because there are ways to work around that. But we'll go down that rabbit hole if we have to.
Understood.
And then sophomore year, it's 2 hours a week, right, Travis? Like Wednesday, Friday?
So sophomore, it's Tuesday, Thursday, and it's an hour and 45 minutes, I believe. Hour and a half. Ooh.
And then junior and senior year, as we're looking at it right now, are Wednesday evenings, 6 to 9.
Correct.
Just so you can kind of start road mapping things out there.
Okay.
But, you'll get, the first couple weeks of any new experience, you'll be running around trying to find halls and rooms and buildings and all that. And within 5 minutes, 5 days, you'll have it all down pat, and, you'll become, it's just human nature.
Yeah, Hood College isn't that big, so you can't get lost on there. If you do, we have other things to talk about.
And remind me, Noah, did you have thoughts about a major you were looking at?
Yes, actually. Criminal. I'm thinking of majoring in criminal justice and possibly double majoring in political science. So, I've actually been in touch with the professor for criminal justice and political science. So, I've been trying to start now on working out what classes can count for both, and so far it's been pretty good. But as far as internship opportunities go, if what internships opportunities would be available for my first year?
So generally with internships, and I'm not sure if there's any ROTC specific experiences you all offer, but with internships generally at Hood, it depends on sort of what you're interested in, where your internship would be. I think often they happen in the junior year. There's actually, right after this session, there's a session with the Career Center that our internships are done through. If you wanted to log back in for another Zoom session, they could tell you a little bit more about the academic side of things. But internships can count as a class. So as you're talking about scheduling around ROTC classes, for example, you would work with your internship site, and it may be your availabilities are like Tuesdays and Thursdays. Maybe you spend all day Tuesday and Thursday at your internship site. So it works around your other classes. Some students will do internships in the summer. It really is going to depend on looking at your schedule, working with your advisors and ROTC to kind of figure out that puzzle piece of how everything's going to fit together.
And the reason why we usually have you guys wait until your juniors is because your freshman and sophomore years, you're taking beginning level classes in your major of interest. So there's still time for you to change your major, usually. So if you take one criminal justice class and you hate it, then we don't want you to be saddled with an internship if that's not something you want to do. So usually by the time you're a junior, you're in your more upper level classes. And that way you can kind of hone your focus on what you want to do with it, whether that's political science or criminal justice. And that usually, like Becca said, falls into a class. So you'll have more time to play with the type of classes you're going to be taking when you're an upperclassman.
So another question would be, Captain Harrant, and I know you guys have things like color guard that you perform at basketball games. Is that available for freshmen, or do I have to wait until I'm in upper level class?
No, absolutely not. I make every cadet join the color guard team. We do have sessions once a week that Cadet Blackwell and Cadet Wallace are in charge of to instruct everyone, to teach them the color guard techniques. But no, that's open to everybody because that gives you OML points for your accessions when you go to camp.
Okay.
There's a Ranger Challenge team too. That's pretty selective. But if it's sort of like Raider Challenge in the junior ROTC world, but Ranger Challenge, we have 11 young men and women go down and compete in the fall against 38 other schools in our brigade. And, this is schools like Georgetown, Clemson, North Carolina. And a couple of years we've done really well. So I guarantee you there's been people Googling Hood College, McDaniel College, and, we may not have the same name recognition, but we came in second place one year out of 38 schools. So that was pretty cool. And that's open to you too.
This past year, we came in 9th place.
I can change that.
Well, the Ranger Challenge instructor is Master Sergeant Bolwell at Hood. So believe me, he's the stern one when it comes to that picking process.
Okay. So are there any other opportunities as far as to do stuff ROTC wise for the program as a freshman?
So we do recruiting. So Mr. Fenn, like Hood College does Admitted Students Day. They do, and I think it's Admissions Day. There's quite a few things that we do for recruiting. So we do ask cadets to go to those. That way, new students can get the experience from a cadet that's in the program.
Okay.
So we ask for volunteers for that. We do Veterans Day. We host that for Hood College. We put the flags down. We put flags down around Hood College. I think that was for Veterans Day, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great.
So there's a lot of things that we do with Hood College throughout the year. And it's something that wasn't really there the previous years. But I actually graduated from Hood, so I get around and I talk to a lot of people and volunteer a lot of the cadets to do things with the college just to get our name out there throughout the college.
Okay. And so Ms. Reitmeyer, I guess I would ask the same question. Is there as far as clubs go, are there any clubs that I can join? Am I allowed to join clubs as a freshman or my freshman year?
Oh, absolutely. They'll actually be in the fall, they'll do like a clubs and activities fair. There's over 50 or 60 at this point, student organizations on campus. So everything from academic honor groups, groups interested in politics. We have a Model United Nations Club that competes. There's student government. So there's lots of opportunities to plug in that way. There's cultural groups. And then there's also like intramural sports. And Hood has over 500 events a year. Some that are things we regularly host that are some of our traditions, and some that different clubs and organizations are putting on. So there's a lot of opportunities to plug in. And like I said, there's that fair in your first semester where you can walk around, talk to people from different organizations, learn what they're about, try them out. So we definitely, there's lots of ways to stay busy, lots of ways to get involved on campus.
As for like military associated clubs, I'm revitalizing the Veteran Student Association, and that's not just open to veteran students. That's open to ROTC students, active duty military, or regular civilians who are just interested. So that's going to be starting up in the fall, I'm hoping. It was supposed to start up in the spring, but then all of this craziness happened and it didn't. So something to keep in mind. That's, like I said, it's available to everyone, but usually it's going to be targeted towards military affiliated students. So you're going to have a lot of people who were prior officers or prior enlisted giving you good and bad advice. So you could just take that as you will. But that should be starting up in the fall. So just keep an eye out for that.
Okay. I don't believe I have any further questions.
Okay. So we'll see you next week then.
Great questions. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And yeah, no, thank you for those questions, because there's so many little pieces that go into kind of figuring out what your time in school is going to be, because you're in class for X amount of hours a week, but then you have all of those hours outside of that that you're filling with PT and clubs and studying and everything else. So it's good to hear that you're thinking about those things and excited to plug in, because that's what we love to see on our end, is students who are engaging around campus. And there's definitely lots of chances for you to do that.
Okay.
So, awesome.
Amy, is your email address, is it Warren@Hood?
Yep, that's right.
All right, I'm going to be sending you something as both dual-hatted as the veterans advisor and the transfer advisor. It's an op order kind of tasking me to do some stuff, but I'm going to need some help. So
Sure, definitely.
the Army's concerned about Mission Set 22, so they're putting out this full court press for transfer students and current veterans on campus. So I'll send you that, and if you take a look at it, we can talk about it. I appreciate it.
Sure, of course, anytime.
Okay. Thanks. All right, well, Noah, we'll see you later. We'll see you next week. Think some more questions.
Yeah,
Knowledgeable incoming freshman cadet on Hood ROTC and the history of the program.
Thank you.
All right. Good to see you. Hang in there.
Bye.
Travis, we'll see you later.
See you, sir.
Thank you, ladies.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Stay safe.
You as well.